I'm gonna be all the way honest with you guys. Just so much that you guys did not get to see. Brothers are not good. We are not good. The internet stuff, like all of the internet videos, the going lives, and my dad did not have all of them kids on my mom. I probably shouldn't have let my mom come. What it is, it's never enough. I can see how she was triggered. Y'all, it was so much going on. Me and Reginae, sometimes we bump heads. Like, it is the Toya and Reginae show. I felt bad for my dad because he got really emotional. It was just sad, y'all. It was just so much that y'all just didn't see. My sister energy is just different. Like, you know, Beatty is more lax, chill. I'm thinking about my siblings.
Let's talk about Toya and Nita. I understand that Toya feel like Nita don't appreciate her or the family don't appreciate her. But let's be real.
Oh, I told you, Regina, think they better than everybody.
Danielle, I liked you at first. You was cool at first. But the end of this season, you turned into a low-key to villain. It's like Toya put the key in your back and you did her dirty work.
And Reginae was like defending her mom. And they was like, oh, Reginae, you need to stay in a child's place. Reginae 20-something years old, for one. For two, bitch, I'ma fucking defend my fucking mama. I don't give a fuck who you is, where you from, what you look like, your age, none of that shit. You come for mine, I'm coming for you.
And guess what? Today, Walt got something to say.
And then let the media see that. How about that?
Giving her side of the story.
People will never change. They will keep operating with you the exact same way.
Reginae does tend to talk to people crazy, like she better than people. Reginae does have a problem with talking to people crazy and thinking she could get away with it because she Lil Wayne's daughter.
Y'all problem with Reginae Carter is that she didn't have to get it out the mud. Y'all problem with Reginae Carter is that y'all feel like she didn't do enough with her daddy's name.
On a serious note, can somebody help me figure out where the hate for Reginae Carter comes from?
Reginae getting mad when her uncle said that he used to help raise her and always babysitting because her mama wanted to be out in the streets.
Toya, you had to know that it make most sense for Nita to go support Walt.
They feel like Toya owed them something, like they mama and daddy wasn't the one that left them and when it did drugs.
Toya knew damn well Nita didn't belong at their reunion.
Anytime there's an addict involved, like somebody has an addiction, I feel like if you put them on camera, you're exploiting them, no matter what. And you have to find another way. Like if you want to support your family monetarily, you have to find another way to do it. Like don't let them get on TV and exploit them in their illnesses and their traumas and dramas so that they can get paid. Just give them some money.
Stop exploiting Nita. That's what you do. Stop exploiting my girl.
I think she is really exploiting her family because they all said that Toya thinks she's better than them.
Baby, I'm so tired. I was up binge watching Toya and Reginae, honey.
Toya don't want to talk to Mel. Toya, at the end of the day, you're a regular bitch like everybody else. Toya want to keep saying, I don't have a problem with Mel. I could talk to Mel, whatever. But every time Beatty wants Toya to talk to Mel, Toya don't want to talk to Mel.
Toya told you that she's open to talking to the girl. She never told you when she wanted to talk to her, where she wanted to talk to her, none of that. But she just told you she was open to talk to her. Why the fuck did you think that bringing Mel to her Double Dutch audition was the best place and time for Mel and Toya to talk?
So now Beatty want to backpedal and run away and act like Toya acting a fool. That's why Reginae asked her, do you like my mama? And the answer is hell no, don't none of them like her.
Oh, now Toya, oh, let me go walk and apologize to my mama. Bitch, you knew you was wrong when you fucking brought her out there. You knew you was wrong when you sit up there was laughing and tried to make it like it was a joke. I understand it's a TV show, but we had Casey there to give a show.
Toya puts a lot of energy into some of her family members that are... I don't want to say they're jealous, but then I want to say they're jealous.
I don't know how she does it. Like, she's constantly pulled every which way. Like, dealing with Casey. I don't even know. I don't know. I know that's her brother and all, but girl.
They are who they are. You instead of giving people a chance to show up for you, to show and prove who they are, and they already done told you who they are. They done showed you time after time.
Throughout her life, Toya has had to be the mother.
Toya tries her best to make sure that her entire family is emotionally and financially taken care of. She shows up for all of them.
I know what I'm about to say is about to ruffle a couple feathers, but the show Toya and Reginae on WeTV should not have been named that. because the show has nothing to do with Toya and Reginae. It more so has something to do with Toya and her siblings. And what I want to say is, Toya, you cannot cover up pain with money, celebrity friends, big houses and cars. Because when you was at that table talking to your mother about your father, you can tell that you had some animosity towards her for whatever it was that she did to you when you were younger. And the way that Casey gets treated is almost like he can't even voice his opinion. And he was asking for Toya to go to therapy with him. That is taking accountability. He's trying to fix it. But everything he do irritates everybody to the core. Have you ever thought that something traumatic might have happened to Casey when he was a child that nobody has asked him about? And it's not fair to say Toya need to leave her siblings alone because they're using her. If that's the case, why did Toya got them on her show? That puts money in Toya's pocket for them to tell their story. Why do they have to broadcast the trauma in their life in order for this show to have a good rating?
I love Red for Toya. Love, love, love it. He's definitely her piece. He keeps her grounded. I love him for her.
So guess what Red did? The same thing that Casey did. Click the fuck out. He just ain't go too hard, because the camera's rolling. But she had to go chase after him because Red was pissed.
More behind the scenes drama comes out about Toya's family as the season finale premieres of Toya and Reginae's reality show on WeTV. From Walter recently going off on Toya and exposing the fact that his mother had not been clean for the past 10 years while he was locked up, and she's just now becoming clean again now that he's home from prison. Walter also accuses Toya of making their mother, Mama Nita, choose between which grandchildren she's going to support at a given time. Toya's younger sister, Beatty, also goes off on Toya while defending her girlfriend, Mel, and trying to get Toya to go ahead and have a conversation with Mel. They say Danielle been doing too much lately and Toya put a battery in her back. Red, Toya's husband, also goes off on Toya. Casey absolutely flashes and crashes out on his niece, Reginae. Toya continues to have mental and emotional breakdowns, all while people are saying that she is now exploiting her family. And much more. So let's get into it. Toya never really cared for Mel, who is Beatty's girlfriend. For months, Beatty tried to get Toya and Mel together to have a conversation so that they could make amends. Toya had previously said that she was open to having that conversation with Mel, but first she wanted to work on her relationship with her own sister, Beatty. But I guess Beatty only heard the part where Toya said she was willing to have the conversation with Mel. So Beatty brought Mel to Toya's Double Dutch event, which was a business event. Toya was clearly upset that Beatty crashed her event to talk about personal matters regarding their family dysfunction and other issues in front of company and strangers. Once Toya began to engage, Mel and Toya started having a little back and forward. The exchange then made Beatty upset, and Beatty started going off on Toya like we had never seen before. Viewers started to call Beatty slow because she crashed her sister's Double Dutch event to please Mel, who is now her ex-girlfriend. Again, Toya pulled Mel outside of her event and they had a conversation.
Beatty, Reginae, and Walter met up at a park to discuss Toya's behavior at the Double Dutch event, and why would Beatty do that by bringing Mel, who Toya does not see it for, to her event. Reginae asked Beatty, do you even like my mama? Do you like your sister? Because basically all my mama trying to do is protect you from being manipulated by Mel further. Beatty actually spoke out about some of this. Let's go ahead and hear what she had to say.
There's so much growth now to where I can't even fully express a lot about it, you know. But what I will say is that character on that show is not me, you know, and I look at it like a movie. It's a character to me. You know how we have like, and we watch movies and we look at characters and we like, dang, they played that well. So I understand what's shown that can have the reactions that it have. You get what I'm saying? But to be perfectly clear, it's like that to me, you know? And I understand why people will say what they say, and because of how it's viewed, you know, and what you're seeing. So you're gonna go off that, you know. But I will say, you guys who actually my real supporters, and the guys and everyone who truly see me, like, I don't get, you know, I don't really get too deep in reading the comments when it comes down to the show and different things, because, you know, I understand why people will say the things they say. And like I said, you know I'm not slow. I know I'm not on a spectrum. I know I am great. You know, I feel like I don't need no validation of who I am, you know, what's real, you know. So I just feel like I've graduated all forms of education, all the way up to college. You know, I'm very smart, very intellectual, very mindful, very careful, you know, like very God-fearing. You know, we all stumble, you know, and I will always say that we all stumble at some point of our life, and we have to have some type of redirection somewhere in life, and no one's perfect, you know. So these people that's behind those computers or these phones and they type in this, that, and the third, definitely didn't have situations where they wasn't so much themselves, or had something where they had to, you know, realize something within themselves, you know, or anything, you know. So I don't really take that to offense when I read that type of stuff. That's why I don't read it or really get involved in it. But I do see it, you know, if someone directly write me or at me, I'll see little things like that. But I know me, you know what I'm saying? And God is amazing, and that's all. And it's just, you know, that's life, and everything will get better.
Seen Beatty YouTube like a few days ago, was she referencing it because some people saying she like slow or on the spectrum or something wrong with her or something. I want to say this: there's absolutely nothing wrong with Beatty. Beatty comes off as one of those people that's very quiet, chill, low-key into herself. But what she messed up at is because she was living with Toya and she confided in Toya about Mel, which y'all know we cannot tell our spouse, our partner, our family nothing about each other. If Beatty had a problem with Mel, the worst thing she could have did was told Toya if she for sure wasn't done with Mel. If Beatty had personal issues with Toya, even though that's her sister, she shouldn't have told it to Mel, because if you ain't fully done with Mel, Mel gonna use that against you. So all Beatty is wrong for is confiding in two people that she love about each other. She ain't slow, nothing ain't wrong with her. What Toya wrong at is, for the show, Toya want to keep saying, I don't have a problem with Mel. I could talk to Mel, whatever. But every time Beatty wants Toya to talk to Mel, Toya don't want to talk to Mel. Toya, at the end of the day, you're a regular bitch like everybody else. You don't like Mel. Okay, say you don't like her. You're not one of them people that say, oh, well, if my sister love her, I love her. No, you don't love her, and that's okay. You don't fuck with her, and that's okay. You took her to the hospital because the cameras was rolling, and so happened when you got there, she was there. How fucked up that would have been if you would have left her at the scene of the accident waiting on the ambulance while you took Beatty. You don't like Mel, and more than likely Mel don't like you. Instead of telling Beatty, I don't mind talking to Mel, or we could talk or whatever, tell her the truth. Sis, I don't like how she did you. You went back with her. That's on you. I don't fuck with her. I appreciate it if you'll keep her away from me. And if you can't understand that, then I'll just take a step back while you figure your relationship out. And that's it. But y'all stop playing on Beat It Top. That girl ain't on no spectrum. She ain't slow or none of that. She in love with Mel, and she love her sister, and she don't want to be in the middle of no drama.
During the season finale, Toya has another emotional and spiritual and mental breakdown due to her family's plight. Toya says that she cannot continue to go down this path of always trying to be there and help and save everyone, because now her health and her mind and everything is declining, and she needs to be there for her family, her daughters, and her husband. So Toya's father, Walter Sr., received a sibling reunion of all Walter's kids from Toya. Toya threw the reunion, and she got all of her siblings by her dad on her dad's side together. Toya's dad, Walter Sr., had 17 children. At the sibling reunion, things took a turn when Mama Nita felt like she was owed an apology because Walter Sr. went out and had all of these babies on her, and how he was always out cheating in a 7-wall, and most of his children were conceived on the same few streets. Viewers feel as though Toya should have never invited Mama Nita to this event, as it was about Walter Sr. and his 17 kids. While everyone else seemed unfazed and unbothered by Mama Nita's pain that she displayed for what Walter had done to her in the past, Reginae was the only one that stepped up and said, hey, y'all disregarding my grandma's feelings. Her feelings are valid. But Toya told Reginae to stay in her granddaughter's place. Someone else told Reginae to stay in a child's place another time, and Casey also tries to tell Reginae to stay in a child's place, or rather stay in a niece's place. Toya apologized to her mother and said she never meant to make her feel any type of way. Mama Nita also mentioned that Toya goes out of her way to defend her dad, Walter Sr. So they talked about it as mother and daughter. They hashed their little side of it out, but now it was time to go and see if Walter Sr. would have a conversation with Toya's mother, Mama Nita. Walter Sr. agreed to have the conversation with Mama Nita. They had the conversation, and after that, all was well for a little while, until Walter Sr. got very emotional as he thought about all of the drama that was just displayed. Meanwhile, he never got to tell his son Rudy goodbye, and there was some drama going on at that time. And he became very emotional and broke down at the table. He had to be consoled by his daughters. In the future on the show, if there's still a show, I would like to see Toya interact with her siblings on her dad's side more often. Walter Sr. can be seen photo here with all of his children that we know of, child. Besides Rudy and Josh, and Walter, because Walter, his son, dark-skinned Walter, because there's another Walter here that we're going to get to soon. Walter that we know, Toya's brother. Walter's parole officer told him he cannot come down here to New Orleans for no family sibling reunion with his daddy. Walter Sr. has Josh, Rudy, and Walter, Lil James, who is 26, Kyrie, who is 12, Mondo, who is 18, Erica, who is 19, Daviana, who is 20, Tim, who's 23, Dominic, who's 26, Ingrid, who's 41, Jackie, who's 42, Keshana, who's 43, and we have Walter, who's 45. This light-skinned Walter. Now, Walter that we know did come out and say that his uncle, his mother's brother-in-law, is his biological father.
How Toya did Nita at the siblings reunion with Walter, the big Walter. Toya knew damn well Nita didn't belong at that reunion. Walter's kids with Nita is his first set of kids. This man have 17, 18, 19 kids. Why would Nita be the only baby mama at the reunion just because she's Toya mama? Toya, you know your mama, you know your daddy. So why would you not think this lady gonna have some trauma come up? This lady gonna feel some kind of way seeing this man with all these kids, rethinking about all these other women he built relationships with, he created kids with. Y'all didn't even give the opportunity for him to have a good time time with his kids, all the kids that was there. We didn't get to know all their names. We didn't get to know which one of them come from the same mamas or nothing. Because Dago Nita having a breakdown moment and Toya disregarding. Now, I'm going to say kudos to Nay at that moment because she stood up for her grandma. But what did Toya do? Oh, you stay in a granddaughter's place. What the fuck is a granddaughter's place when y'all sitting up here laughing at this lady expressing herself? And the daddy, he's sitting up there, he don't want to say nothing. He don't want no smoke because he knows she really hurt. So, okay, when Red say something, Toya could listen. She could feel that. So between Red saying something and Danielle saying something, oh, now Toya, oh, let me go walk and apologize to my mama. Bitch, you knew you was wrong when you fucking brought her out there. You knew you was wrong when you sit up there was laughing and tried to make it like it was a joke. You knew that was that lady real raw feelings. So why would you not bring her there? Why would you not just take your daddy and all his kids and enjoy like that? I understand it's a TV show, but we had Casey there to give a show. We had Walt on the phone to give a show. We had Reginae there. You had enough people for a show. Stop exploiting Nita. That's what you do. Stop exploiting my girl.
So Casey reaches out to Toya for her assistance in persuading the mother of his child, Gabby, to let him be more of an active father in their child's life. Now, if you missed it on the season, Gabby does say why she limits the time that her son spends with his father, Casey. Casey sits in Toya's kitchen and tells her about all the ups and downs that he's going through while trying to be there for his son because he already had missed 7 or 8 years of his son's life and his son is now 10. So Toya set up the meeting between the mother of Casey's child, Gabby, and Casey, thinking that all is well and this will go well. Girl, tell me why we turn the page and Casey is actively going off on Reginae, crashing out on her like Toya said that she had never seen him crash out before. All of this footage was caught on the Ring camera. However, I do remember Casey saying that he did not want this footage released, but Toya and WeTV and other people wanted it released. And this is where people are coming in saying that this is one of the times where Toya is actually exploiting her family. All of this occurred because Casey told Reginae that Reginae acts just like him. Reginae said, no, I don't act like you, I act like my daddy. Why this boy went off? He told Reginae, you think your daddy a god and all of this and all of that, and going off in front of Gabby, the mother of his child, who he's trying to make a better impression on. Gabby sits down with Toya after Casey's crash out and says that Casey needs help. Toya then goes on to say that she's washing her hands with Casey. She never wants to see him again and he can never ever come back to her home because Casey attacked her daughter, Reginae.
The situation with Casey and Reginae from the season finale. Okay, we know that Casey is a hothead. We know Casey clicks out as he say. We know Casey don't take no shit, right? But we also know if you go back to growing up hip hop when Reginae was on there, Reginae does have a problem with talking to people crazy and thinking she could get away with it because she Lil Wayne's daughter. So I'm saying that to say we don't know what really took place in Toya's house while filming to cause Casey to click out. Reginae said, Casey said she act just like him. And she said, no, I act like my father. Okay, that probably did happen. But what was the conversation like before they got to that part to say, oh, Reginae, you act just like me. Reginae does tend to talk to people crazy, like she better than people, like she high authority and she can't get touched. The thing about Casey is he don't give a fuck about Reginae being Lil Wayne's daughter because Reginae is also Toya's daughter, which is also his niece. So to him, it's like, look, girl, sit the fuck down. You my niece. That's why the last time he said, Nay, I helped raise you. So I'ma just take this as Reginae disrespected him. He felt played. He didn't give a fuck about the cameras being there. And he clicked out. It is what it is.
Viewers are also now bringing up the fact that Red went smooth clean off on Toya during the season because of something that Toya did behind his back. Toya went and signed a new lease for a new gym while Red is already comfortable in the gym that they currently have. She went behind his back, signed the lease, and Red went off on her, and viewers are bringing it back up, saying that this is similar to what Casey does but Red is just a little bit more toned down.
Toya wanted Red to get a new Wait No More studio. She felt like they expanding, they need a bigger building, it'll be good for business, blah, blah, blah. Red like, no, I like an intimate, more boutique style studio. The studio that they have, he like it. It's small, it's intimate, it gets the job done. This has nothing to do with money, TV, none of that. The man liked the studio that he at. He want to keep the studio he at. So Toya go ask talk to their business partner about it and see what he think. The business partner was basically saying no, but he like, well, you need to talk to Red. I think you should see what Red think. Already knowing that Red ain't agreeing with it. What do Toya do? Toya kept her ass down there and signed a lease on the new fucking studio and got the nerve to go tell Red like he gonna be happy. So guess what Red did? The same thing that Casey did. Click the fuck out. He just ain't go too hard, you know, because the camera's rolling. But she had to go chase after him because Red was pissed. At the end of the day, you showed that it's your way or no way. You don't even have no respect for your husband. This man told you good. He didn't want no studio. So why the fuck did you go sign a lease on the studio? So now Red mad. He done gave it a silent treatment because he know how to deal with it. So he done gave it a silent treatment for a couple of days. Red ain't budget. So then she want to come being all nice trying to butter up and say, oh, well, I was able to get out the lease. I know the fuck you did because you probably really ain't signed it in the first place. Toya, stop fucking playing with these people for this TV, okay?
And so then it was a big old thing about Mama Nita coming to New Orleans with Walter for Walter's daughter's 8th grade graduation. This was a big deal for Walter as Walter has been locked up for most of her life. Walter wanted his mother there in support of his daughter, who is Mama Nita's granddaughter. Toya was not upset about Mama Nita going to her granddaughter's, who is Toya's niece's, 8th grade graduation in New Orleans, but Toya was more so anxious because she wanted Mama Nita to make it back to Atlanta in time for an event that Toya had planned prior for Mama Nita. And now currently Walter is saying that Toya makes their mother choose between which grandkids she's going to support. Toya says that Mama Nita always puts her sons first and put her on the back burner as if she means nothing.
And guess what? Today, Walt got something to say. Just listen up.
You're gonna still try to say, oh, but Walt, but this, but Casey, but that. Be real with this first, and then let the media see that. How about that? How about you try to express or display some type of integrity?
Some type of integrity. How about that?
You can't want somebody to just, you want to be forgiven or apologize, but you not willing to do it.
Exactly.
Every last one of them do it.
Call them out, Walt.
Point the finger, but tripping. Yeah, bitch, you got 3 pointing back at you. Every time you hold that bitch up, 3 pointing right back at you, but you ain't looking at it. Baby, I'm mad at my family. Me too. This is what I'm saying right now. Stop doing it. She only say it when it's time for a show. We got receipts, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Receipts, baby.
We was together. When we stopped filming, there was no more hanging out. When Casey got a show to do or something, Toya's not attending. When Beatty got a birthday, Toya's not there. When Toya got something,
y'all know Beatty's birthday was just the other day.
What part you don't get? My family need to start being real with themselves and not the media. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of that, going to people and saying all this to people that don't even know you. Control the narrative, right? Don't make your mama feel bad like that to when she have to choose grandchildren.
Clock it. I said that. Y'all was on my head about that.
Change her life and she just stops using drugs at the spur of the moment. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Give us some type of acknowledgement, upliftment. You feel what I'm saying? Because it ain't happening until Walt came home. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
But y'all said Toya got her clean.
I've been on drugs the whole 10 years I was gone. Now I'm home and she off. What you overlooking, bro? What you overlooking, bro?
What you overlooking?
Come on, man. I'm out of that. Give me my flowers.
Toya interview, which is what I think caused Walt's live.
People will never change. They will keep operating with you the exact same way until you get to a place in your life where you have to set those boundaries, no matter who it is, mama, daddy, sister, brother, husband, daughter, I don't care who it is. It's disrupting your peace. You have to set them healthy boundaries. So either I'm going to deal with you from a distance or I ain't going to deal with you at all.
But that applies to you too, my girl. Okay, I understand that Toya feel like Nita don't appreciate her or the family don't appreciate her. But let's be real. Walt didn't get to go to the siblings reunion because of his probation officer, so he wasn't able to see his daughter at that moment. So I'm assuming his probation stuff is clear and he was able to go see his daughter graduate. He asked his mama to go with him to see his daughter graduate. Come on now, Nita have always been around Toya and her kids, at least while she clean, right? On all Toya shows, anything Toya have going on. Toya, you had to know that it make most sense for Nita to go support Walt to see his daughter graduate, something that will never happen again, then come sitting at a fucking table with you at some event for TV. Let's just be real. That was a real moment for that lady. We don't know how often she shared a relationship with this girl while her son was in jail. It only made sense for her to go to the graduation, and it made sense that the cameras followed them or they got as much footage as they could of the graduation. She could come to your shit anytime, and you said she missed Mother's Day, so why didn't you schedule that other event for some other time to give her time to come back? Like, y'all know that lady is a recovering addict. Y'all know she miss her kids, she grieves, she do all this. So why make her feel so bad that she went to Patient's graduation with Walt instead of coming sit somewhere with you with some cameras in her face? Be fucking for real.
So back in Atlanta, Toya's event, Sis I Celebrate You, that is honoring her mother, Mama Nita, is about to take place. Toya is worried that Mama Nita will be a no-show, but surprise, surprise, Mama Nita popped on up. Some viewers are saying that Toya was overreacting because how could you make your mama choose between a sit-down brunch event that you have in Atlanta over your niece's 8th grade graduation that only comes once in a lifetime, when these brunches and dining events are what you all do very frequently. Toya was also upset that she didn't get to spend Mother's Day with Mama Nita because she chose to spend Mother's Day with her son Walter, who just came home from prison, who has not had any Mother's Days with her. But I do want to know, is this the Toya and Reginae show, or is this the Toya and Danielle show? Because Danielle on this show way more than Reginae.
That's what I want to say about Danielle. At the beginning of the season, Danielle was cool in my book. Danielle was like the mediator. She was like the peacekeeper. She was neutral for everybody. Beatty could go to her, talk, tell secrets, confide in her. Everything was cool. My thing with Danielle is Danielle wait till like the last 2 episodes to switch up. At first, she'll keep a secret for Beatty, or she'll stay in her lane and all that. But the way she like bumped Toya at the jump event, like you knew she was coming, it's like that's what set Toya off. That's what triggered her to get started and giving Beatty attitude. Like, Danielle, you been knew Beatty and Mel was together. You been knew how Toya feel about Mel. You know how she really feel. So why would you even encourage it? And then when we got Mama Nita to the little event y'all had, you the one who decided to call the lady out. Bitch, that ain't your motherfucking mama. You play with your own mama. We don't see your mama on the show. Nita came late. So fucking what? All y'all be late. Stop playing with Nita, okay? Danielle, I liked you at first. You was cool at first. But the end of this season, you turned into a low-key to villain. It's like Toya put the key in your back and you did her dirty work. If y'all get a season 3, I need you to pipe that shit the fuck down and go back to being a peacemaker.
Toya says she has had no contact with her brother Casey since almost a year ago when filming ended, which also solidifies what Walter said about everybody just hanging out and doing family things when it's filming time, but when the show is off, all of that is over with. Let's hear what Toya had to say about what has transpired recently, as well as what transpired on their season finale this week. Toya says moving forward, if there's a season 3, she does not want to include as much of her family. She wants to focus on her personal family, which is Rain, Reginae, and Red. I don't think that that's a good idea because Toya and Reginae are boring, and that's a good thing. We can watch celebrities and influencers do what Toya and Reginae does on a daily on Instagram and on TikTok. Toya's family is the show, and that's why after Toya mentioned that she may not be including them in the next season, Walter had a part of his live where he said that he and Casey are going to team up and try to do their own thing and make their own show together. And we TV, if you're going to continue to do reality TV, then do it correctly. There's no way we should be waiting a whole year or two for a new season. Season 2 just went off. We should have season 3 by the end of the summer or the fall. We should not have to wait a year or two for the next season and then everybody becomes uninterested.
Let's talk about that. So with the sibling reunion, I'm going to be all the way honest with you guys. I think I shared this in another video, but I don't know. At the time, like, I was so on a high that I was in a room with all of my siblings for the very first time. And my main focus was to, like, really share stories with them, like, talk about things. Like, this moment in my head, I envisioned it to really be about my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad and his kids, where we're all talking about old stories, just sharing things that, you know, are the way we grew up and just getting to know each other on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I envisioned when I planned this out. And then when things just started going different, one, it was a little bit uncomfortable because I'm thinking about my siblings who are now, you know, a part of because it was a lot of things that y'all just didn't see. Y'all only saw a very small portion of the sibling reunion because, you know, show is only an hour long and they have to cram everything in. So it's just so much that you guys did not get to see. But you know, my mom wanted an apology from my dad because my dad didn't marry her. He married my other brother mom who was there, my other brother who was there, his mom. So it's like now it's becoming uncomfortable because, like, my brother have to listen to you say to my dad that you want an apology for marrying his mom. It was just like a lot of things that was going on. The number one thing that I will admit, I probably shouldn't have let my mom come. That was my first thought initially, but then I'm like, okay, my mom don't be caring. She cool. You know, my mom barely ever really show her emotions and her feelings. But what I didn't take into consideration is I can see how she was triggered in a way because these are all she still loves my dad, one. And these are a lot of kids that my dad had that are not with her. Like, she's looking like, damn, even though, let me clear the air. My dad did not have all of them kids on my mom. My dad had one of them kids on my mom, but still, it's still a lot of babies being born by the man. You know, this is the man I love and he had all of these kids. So it was just a lot going on. And I just felt bad for my mom and I wanted to apologize and I felt bad for my dad because he got really emotional. It was just sad, y'all. It was just so much that y'all just didn't see. But then again, I was the one that was getting blamed, I guess, because I was used to my mom and dad playing so much. So I was joking and playing with them in the beginning. And then it escalated into something that I did never imagine it escalating into. So I took full accountability and I apologized to my mom if she felt like I was a part of attacking her or whatever, because that was never the case. And that's, to be honest with you, that was never my intentions. And so I apologize. But y'all, it was so much going on. It was so much. It was just so many different moving parts of that day. And I just started to feel like, damn, this is not what I envisioned this day being. Like, it was just starting to really make me upset. And then I'm like, well, why am I getting blamed? Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, my husband, like, but you have to think about your mom and her feelings. True. I do have to think about my mom and her feelings. And I also, it's a tough place to be because I'm thinking about my dad too, because it's a lot of things that you guys don't know. You know what I'm saying? That my dad has personally shared with me. It's things my mom has personally shared with me. So it's like, it's a lot. But at the end of the day, I don't never want my mom to feel like I'm ganging up on her, because that's not it. I sympathize with my mom. I hate that I even put her in that situation, because that wasn't a place for her to be. It should have just been my dad, his kids, and that's it. Brothers are not good. We are not good. The internet stuff, like all of the internet videos, the going lives, and that was too much for me. It's like, I'm afraid that's not what family do. That's not love. That's not, that makes me afraid to allow you back in my circle, because you're going to do that again. Like, is that a thing? But no, we're not good. I told y'all that I was in a really dark place. And I was kind of stressed out because I was dealing with stuff with my family, trying to figure out things with business. Everything was just becoming overwhelming. But I was dealing with a lot with my family at the time because it was one after the other, one after the other. It was like something constantly happening. And I just started feeling like it don't matter what I do for them or what it is, it's never enough. I just didn't feel like she was a great match for my sister because my sister energy is just different. Like, Beatty is more lax, chill, vibe, go with the flow type of shit. And it's like certain people could take advantage of that and manipulate you and have you just out of character and stuff like that. More with Rain, doing more with, just showing me and Reginae. Sometimes we bump heads. Like, it is the Toya and Reginae show, but it's like so much of my that should be shown because family drama overshadows
the Toya
and Reginae show. And that's something that I really just don't like about it. But I mean, it is what it is. And
it's real life, I can tell you that much.
It is. It really is. And hopefully that changes if we, continue to move on with the show and things like that. But yeah, y'all. So make sure y'all continue to tune in on Fridays on WeTV. And if you don't have WeTV, you can stream it on All Black at any time. All Black app or Philo or whatever app, service that you may have or whatever.
Just a little while back, we saw Casey going off about Reginae being disrespectful as his niece and also complaining about how Reginae doesn't necessarily support him, but she can go out and buy her boyfriend at the time, Armand, a $20,000 watch. Armand even did a voiceover parody mocking Casey and exactly what he had said.
Makes sense. $20,000 a month? And your uncle do music and you done bought Armand a $20,000 watch that you met this dude 3 months in front of my face, lady. I walk with you. That's your money, you do what you want.
Reginae says we should not be listening to her Uncle Casey, and she clarifies something.
Y'all already think I be buying $20,000 watches. Oh, Lord. When I tell y'all don't listen to nothing Casey has to say, because he's a cat. Show me the proof! Show me the proof! It was definitely given maybe 5K. Maybe like 4K. It was never 20. But if it was, it was. Because I definitely got that back in return. Let's not front like niggas weren't giving it back. If I was doing that, but I just know for sure I didn't pay no 20K for no damn watch. But like was really doing that back to me, so like if he wanted that, it would have been
downs. Like if y'all can see on the blogs, my crazy uncle been going crazy. I ain't gonna say too much on that because honestly, I feel like everybody have their spaz outs, they crash outs. Or right now, he has a lot going on right now, and it's hard out here, and people trying to make it. But I know I know who I am. I know who my mother is. I know what we've done. I know what we've done. I know our hearts, and I don't have to explain nothing and do nothing, say nothing to nobody because I know who we are. We know who we are and we know what we do and they know what we do too. So this crazy ass family members that's supposed to be your family in your safe space that's scared. That's like going crazy on you and you're like, what the heck? Like, it's a lot going on.
Do you think Toya is exploiting her family? Do you think that Toya feels as though she's better than her siblings? Do you think that there should be a season 3? Should Toya's other siblings on her dad's side be included more in the show? Let me know what y'all think, but let's go ahead and listen to the TikTokers and their opposing opinions. Too much tea.
Some of y'all coming at me like y'all on Toya payroll, like y'all work for her or something. I follow Toya, Red, Reginae, Beatty, Walt, Casey, Mama Nita. I don't follow Danielle, Arain, all of them. Listen, if you follow them on YouTube, you'll know Toya want us to talk about the show. She won't think pieces, because guess what? Us talking about the show is doing the algorithm, bringing the show up and bringing the show up. It's gonna make WeTV give them another season. I never not once bashed Toya. I never said nothing bad about her.
What I'm about to say is about to ruffle a couple feathers, but the show Toya and Reginae on WeTV should not have been named that. Because the show has nothing to do with Toya and Reginae. It more so has something to do with Toya and her siblings. And what I want to say is, Toya, you cannot cover up pain with money, celebrity friends, big houses and cars. You need just as much counseling as your siblings and your mother and father need. You are broken in the inside. And when your siblings come around you, it reminds you of where you come from. And it's okay to want better for them. It's okay to want to help them, but us broken people can't help somebody else that's broken. Because when you was at that table talking to your mother about your father, you can tell that you had some animosity towards her for whatever it was that she did to you when you were younger. Because you needed Walter to vouch for you for the things that she have done. She has paid her dues for what she has done when y'all were younger. She is trying to stay clean. And if y'all keep bringing up her addiction, what do y'all think that's going to lead her? Let her live in her truth now. And the way that Casey gets treated is almost like he can't even voice his opinion. And it's not fair to say Toya need to leave her siblings alone because they using her. If that's the case, why did Toya got them on her show? That puts money in Toya's pocket for them to tell their story. Why do they have to broadcast the trauma in their life in order for this show to have a good rating? Because the only reason why that show is rating the way it is because of Toya and her siblings' trauma. And I am so proud of Reginae, because you can tell that Reginae, she love her mother, but she definitely goes on the side of right. And she don't pick and choose which side she gonna go on if they're wrong. What I will say is, everybody keeps saying that Casey needs to take accountability. And he was asking for Toya to go to therapy with him. That is taking accountability. He's trying to fix it. But everything he do irritates everybody to the core. Have you ever thought that something traumatic might have happened to Casey when he was a child that nobody has asked him about? Casey has witnessed both of his parents with addiction, brothers being murdered, the ones that he was the closest to. So at that point, instead of him going to therapy by himself, the whole family should be going to therapy with him, because everybody on that show needs it. That's not a show that's about Reginae and Toya. It's a show about Toya and her siblings. Red, Rain, and Reginae do cameos on that show. And I don't think that it's fair that they keep dragging the family, saying, I don't see how Toya deal with them. Because they're putting money in Toya's pocket, telling this storyline. None of the show is about anything that happens in Toya's immediate household. It's all about her siblings. So why can't Casey come out and tell his side of the story on the internet? Because that family reunion was filmed almost a year ago. And they was telling all of Casey's business on the show. So why can't Casey tell his side of the story? Even the episode where Casey's showing out, it don't look like WeTV filmed that. How did that even make the show? If Casey is acting out like that, quit letting him on your platform, wash your hands until he get himself together, and start to film your family dynamic. They come from a trauma background. That's why they give you trauma behaviors. All of them on that show needs to go to therapy. None of them are better than each other. Toya just have money to dress up her pain. That baby is hurting just like everybody else. That's why she went like that with her mother, because she still is hurt from the things that her mother took her through. I just pray that God work on this family, because it can be an amazing outcome if they start to get real therapy. Why do I feel like this? Because majority of us are going through it with our families. It's deeper than what we see on TV. We just see a few seconds of drama and we think we know the whole story, but we don't. All I've been this family together, they already done lost 2 valuable people to this dynamic. They don't need to lose anyone else. Stick together and work it out, and all y'all go to counseling.
Toya said next season on the Toya and Reginae show, she's actually just going to focus on her little family, like her, Reginae, and I guess the little daughter and her husband. She said that she's not going to be putting her family on her mom and her brothers and the sister and all of those people. So I just see little clips here and there on TikTok. I don't watch her show. I watched her other show, but I think it's a good idea because it kind of gives that Keisha Cole feel, where I truly think that it was exploitation. I do. I know you want to look out for your people and all of that, but with Keisha Cole's mom, Frankie, getting high, like anytime there's an addict involved, like somebody has an addiction, I feel like if you put them on camera, you're exploiting them, no matter what. And you have to find another way. Like if you want to support your family monetarily, you have to find another way to do it. Like don't let them get on TV and exploit them in their illnesses and their traumas and dramas so that they can get paid. Just give them some money because they're going to still ask you for some money anyway. So I feel like that's what Toya does on the couple shows she's been on. They're showing her family, and we all have some sort of dysfunction in our families. But when you exploit it, I just don't think that's a good idea. So I think she has the right idea by not showing them on her next season.
And a lot of people are saying that they're jealous of Toya. I don't think they jealous. I really don't think they jealous of their sister. I think that when you act like a child, you're going to get treated like a child. But imagine me being in your late 30s, early 40s, and being treated like a child by your sister. So I think it's a lot of that. Like, I want to be treated like an adult. I want to be talked to like an adult. Because they all said that Toya thinks she's better than them. And I think that's a lot of the energy that's given. But stop asking her for stuff. Stand on your own 2 feet. Don't need nothing. Say hey and bye. Y'all want something from her, but to get mad when she treats y'all how she treat her 9-year-old. Well, however Rain is, 6-year-old. But I don't think this show can stand on her own. Like, I love Red and the other Red, the one trying to lose weight. Their connection part is exploitation. I think she is really exploiting her family. Do I think she's doing it intentionally? I don't know. I think she's been on TV long enough. I think that this is a reason why we don't see her husband Red on there, because she can't play those games with him. And the couple times he did, he put a stop to it. But y'all can't be a family of chaos off screen and think that y'all gonna be one big happy family on screen. Because they've tried this over and over again, so they have not addressed the root. And am I a family psychiatrist, psychologist? No. But we all know chaos when we see chaos on and off the TV screen. Yes, and quiet is absolutely kept. Because you see Regina dipped out that house and ain't been back. She ain't been back now. She temporarily, but not long term, because she know how her mama is. And I think it's very much, if I do something for you, you owe me. BD, you can come move in my house, even though we not on the best of terms long term. Maybe temporarily, but not long term. But now she's back with her girlfriend, and now this is a imaginary beef. But everybody has said they cannot talk to Toya, even her mama. So I ain't mad at BD, but they down BD's throat too. So yeah, I think they both use each other. One is financially, other Toya to gain finance.
Saying, oh, I Toya and Reginae think they better than everybody, blah, 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 whatever. That's why their family is the way it is. Granted, Reginae does seem like she's the type of person that, wants to shit on people, or life haven't humbled her yet, necessarily. But Toya, I don't get that from her. And you would have to be a special type of person that has been put in a situation where you're doing a little bit better than the people that you love, and you're in a position to put them in a better position so that they can better themselves, and they don't do nothing with it. You spend your time and effort, vouch for them, speak for them, and they do what? They don't know what they shit on you. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they can keep doing and using you, and you're just supposed to, because you have it, provide for them. Well, when you gave them multiple opportunities to level up, and they just didn't want to do it. Like, that's what Toya gives me, and I feel like she's not a bad person. I don't feel like she feels like she's better than her family. In my eyes, I feel like Toya feel like if she been in a hood before and she never wanted to go back. That's why she always positioned herself around successful people that had a lot going on, even when her and Lil Wayne wasn't together no more. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like, her family is just in a place in their lives. Like, you can see Walt is kind of grown out of it a little bit, and matured a lot. Whereas, the other brother, he didn't. Like, he's still in that phase of, well, you got it, then that means I should always have it because you have it. Not looking at the fact that all of the years you supported him and put him on and put him in different positions to make his life better, and he didn't do nothing with it. Like, he feel like you're supposed to keep doing it and keep doing it. So no, I don't feel like Toya thinks she better than everybody. And Regina, but Lil Wayne is her daddy, so you gotta give it that.
Why don't we just beat the elephant in the room? Y'all problem with Reginae Carter is that she didn't have to get it out the mud. Y'all problem with Reginae Carter is that y'all feel like she didn't do enough with her daddy's name and his fame. Y'all problem with Reginae Carter is that she is not forming this big, humongous career She's just literally living off the lavish luxuries of her father's name, the fame that she's gotten from her father's name, the reality TV shows that she's gotten from her mother's name. Y'all are mad because she does not have to do anything in this life to be successful. It's handed to her. Y'all are mad because she essentially has a silver spoon in her mouth. Y'all are mad because she's never had to work hard a day in her life and she's still living better than you. Y'all are mad because Reginae shows up as an unambiguous dark-skinned black woman and is still stealing the attention from you. Y'all are mad because as much as y'all don't want to admit it, the personality is there. Y'all are mad because she's not just a pretty face, because when she opens her mouth, she actually has something to say. Y'all are mad to see another black woman living better than y'all and having a softer life than y'all. Y'all are mad because she had a well-to-do father who put her mama on, put her on, and kept them on. And I really wish that when the conversation comes up of why y'all don't like her, y'all just simply said that.
Everybody know that Mel, BD's girlfriend, and Toya have like a little rough patch, right? And Mel, BD got back with Mel, and BD want Mel and Toya to sit down, talk about their differences, and basically just get on one accord. They don't gotta be best fucking friends, but just be cordial. The simple fact that Mel is with BD again, and BD and Toya are sisters, so she wants everybody to be cool, whatever, right? What I don't understand with this latest episode is you and Toya recently sat down, and Toya told you that she's open to talking to the girl. She never told you when she wanted to talk to her, where she wanted to talk to her, none of that. But she just told you she was open to talk to her. Why the fuck did you think that bringing Mel to her Double Dutch audition was the best place and time for Mel and Toya to talk? That's just like you, BD, having like issues with, I guess, Red, and Toya bring Red to your DJing situation, and y'all expecting y'all that when you done, y'all can hash it out. Do you not know your sister?
I like seeing her as a family woman, mother, whatever. It's nice. Just that part alone sells the show. But Toya is the type of person that wants to bring everybody with her. And I think this season really displays that don't drain yourself out trying to bring everybody up with you, because everybody doesn't belong at the top with you. And I say that gently because we all love our family, right? And there's some people that are like, yeah, family's toxic, whatever. And I just think that Toya puts a lot of energy into some of her family members that are, I don't want to say they're jealous, but then I want to say they're jealous. Maybe they think that they should be where she is, and they're not appreciating that she's really trying to put them on as well. And they're making it like she's bougie or she's more than them, but that's not the case. She just is in a situation of her life, or she's in a position, let's say that, where she can help.
Guys, that show is crazy. First and foremost, like, Toya has a shitload of patience with her family, because God almighty, they would have been cut off. I don't know how she does it. Like, she's constantly pulled every which way. Like, dealing with Casey. I don't even know. I don't know. I know that's her brother and all, but bruh, he clicks out. In his word, he clicks out way too much for my liking. Like, how can somebody so handsome be so crazy? That's usually how they are, guys. Those handsome, fine men be lunatics. And I think the older brother, he missing a couple screws too, but he's more level-headed. You know, like he can be dealt with. You know, you can probably deal with his clicking outs. He probably clicks in after he clicks out.
I completely feel where Toya is coming from. Like, just being the type of person who show up with people, who give people chance after chance after chance, and they just never show up for you in a way that you feel like they should. They are who they are. You instead of giving people a chance to show up for you, to show and prove who they are, and they already done told you who they are. They done showed you time after time. So for you to keep setting yourself up and have these expectations of people, and then they let you down, like, that's really on you at that point. Like, love people for who they are, where they at, and you just move accordingly. Don't bend over backwards for people, even if that's who you are. You just can't put yourself in situations like if they want to go out of their way to show you that they changed and they want to be there for you, cool. But don't set up situations for people to let you down.
You know, one thing somebody gonna do is tell you that you think something of yourself or something of them that they actually think of you and think of themselves. And that's exactly what Toya's family does to her on Toya and Reginae. I don't know if you watched the season. If you didn't watch the season, you need to watch the season. It was a good ass season. And there's been this consistent theme, right, throughout all these episodes of Toya thinks she better than everybody. Toya thinks she up here. Toya this. And I'm looking at the season. Obviously, we only see about 1% of her life, right? And throughout this, I'm like, I can't find a time where I felt like she talked down to her siblings, down to her mother, really just down to anyone. But here's what I think it is. I feel like, I would say, I don't know these people from Can of Paint, but what I feel like is that throughout her life, Toya has had to be the mother of the family. She's had to be the family manager over her own mother, over, you know, her siblings, everybody. And so I think what becomes difficult is when the mother, it feels like she's being talked to as if she's the child, right? Or when the sister feels like she's been talked to like Toya's her mother, or the brothers, but that's because that's the position that she's been put in. And what I find is that oftentimes, and I've even done this myself, I had to check myself on it. Oftentimes I'll be like, you think that you this, and you talk to me like I'm a child, and you da-da-da-da-da-da. And while sometimes that is true, right? They are talking to you messed up and all that type of stuff. Sometimes you have to think, is it really that they're talking to me that way? Is that I view myself that way, right? Or I view them in this certain way that has more so to do with me than it really does to them.
On a serious note, can somebody help me figure out where the hate for Reginae Carter comes from? Because in this interview, she was speaking on her relationship with Armand in a little segment of the interview, and, you know, he was pretty much just asking her different questions, like, did he cheat? She was like, no, he was a respectful guy, blah, blah, blah. And he also asked her, did he use her for clout? And she said, no, I don't really think so, but kind of like DDG, she was referencing another YouTuber and saying their whole life is their content. You see what I'm saying? So everything is content. And as a content creator, I can see that. I can see how everything they do is kind of like seen as content, and it's like this is their reality show. That's pretty much what she said. And don't talk about my hair, I'm stretching out my curls. But it's like I already knew, like something told me not to even click in the comments, but it would do nothing but prove my point that some of y'all just hate this girl for absolutely no reason. Literally no reason. Because this is the first comment. It never gave clout for me. He already had fans. She said in the interview that he had his own audience and she had her own audience. So what was the point of this comment? This comment is what kind of pissed me off a little bit. Armand was too much of a gentleman for her. How can a man be too much of a gentleman for a woman? Like, you see how that just kind of sounds like a hater? Like, am I tripping, or does that sound like a hater? How can she be so bad and so terrible to where a man can be too much of a gentleman for her? I'm confused. This one is a little long, but bear with me. It says, Reginae's ego is too big. Just because her dad is Lil Wayne, like, girl, we get it, but you're never gonna have a stable long-term relationship if you keep letting your ego win. Armand is way known and way famous before he even got with you. He didn't need clout from you. She never said he did. He already had more than enough clout. He was with you because he genuinely liked you. Let your ego go, shorty. How do you know? How do you know? Did you speak with Armand personally? And again, she already said he has his own audience. I have my own audience, and we brought it together. This was in the same clip. And then y'all love to say, oh, she always brings up that she's Lil Wayne's daughter, because she is.
Toya tries her best to make sure that her entire family is emotionally and financially taken care of. She shows up for all of them. And if you're not familiar with her father has like 20-something children, and then her mom and her dad together have about 6 or 7 kids, and 2 of them passed away. The amount of looking back and pulling people forward that she has to do, the amount of pressure that's on her to be everything for every single person, and no one really be there for her like that. I think one brother, Walt, he seems like he's there. But they all have trauma. And they all trigger each other. And the parents are literally kids. They need help just as well as the kids do. And the last episode really triggered me because she literally said, I can't do this anymore. I keep trying and it's making me lose my own. It's making me crash out. She wanted Nita, her mother, to show up for an event that she was throwing for her. And Nita said, my son needed me. I had to be there for my son. And Toya said, what about me? And the event was really beautiful. Like at the end, you can see Toya is so drained and so hurt and so out of it. But she threw this event for her mother to support her mother. If you had ever had a drug addict, a recovered drug addict in your family, you know how that is too. You want to do things to keep them busy, to keep them on track. But it's still triggering at the same time.
And Reginae was like defending her mom. And they was like, oh, Reginae, you need to stay in child's place. This something about staying in child's place. Bitch, Reginae ain't a fucking child no more. Reginae 20-something years old, for one. For two, bitch, I'm a fucking defend my fucking mama. I don't give a fuck who you is, where you from, what you look like, your age, none of that shit. You come for mine, I'm coming for you. Like, and this been since been. So I'm confused on how y'all calling her grown for defending her fucking mama. Baby, the way I'm coming behind mine, y'all, the way I've always came behind mine. Baby, y'all have been calling me grown from way back in the motherfucking day. Because I'm coming behind mine. I don't give a fuck. Okay? So I'm just like, how she been grown when she defended her mama? And she had every right to defend her. But of course, y'all always look too deep into shit. She grown, she this, she that. Yes, she is grown. And she has every right to defend her fucking mama. Period.
I love Red for Toya. Love it. He's definitely her piece. He keeps her grounded. I love him for her. Toya, baby, I'ma just say, baby, you got a lot. I mean, a lot of motherfucking patience. I mean, a lot. Because I wouldn't be able to do it. Mama, I love you down. I love you with all my heart. But I'm gonna have to love you from a distance. Casey, you ungrateful. Always feeling entitled. Don't want to take accountability for nothing. At this point, I don't even think therapy is going to help this man because you have to want the help. Child, Casey don't want no help. Casey only see it Casey way and no other way.
Toya is so much better than me because I would have been said my family a long time ago. Like, so serious. I don't understand why they feel like Toya owed them something, like they mama and daddy wasn't one that left them and went and did drugs. The entitlement is really crazy to me because Toya keep on trying to feed into them and they keep giving her they ass to kiss. Literally, they whole ass to kiss. And Beatty slow. Beatty elevated on go auto. It's something. Beatty is slow as hell. Nobody can convince me otherwise. Her and Casey are literally the same person. Casey just to crash out and Beatty just like the way. No way that she really thought that showing up to Toya event and to talk to Mel was the perfect time to do that. And I'm with Toya. Mel definitely be manipulating Beatty. And that's why she was just so amped up at that event and feel like she could talk crazy to her. It's no way in hell that you think you're going to be living in my house and not talking to me. It's a respect thing. How the hell you live with somebody? Not only that, you moved out and came back living with this lady and not talking to her in her house. And I agree with Toya. We need to fix our sister relationship before you trying to get me a relationship with your partner. Don't nobody give a damn about Mel. She not your family. Toya has done everything that she can do to try to help her family. And they are still giving her their ass to kiss. Even the mama. I love Nita as well, but you wrong too. Because you withhold it, miss. Like, at the end of the day, like, especially with that last episode, she was running so hard for all of her boys, Walter and Casey. But your daughter still needs your love, too.
Did y'all see that clip of Regina getting mad when her uncle said that he used to help raise her and always babysitting because her mama wanted to be out in the streets? Like, Regina was really bucking like, oh, my mama wasn't no partier, this and that and this. Sweetheart, I'ma hold your hand when I tell you this. Your mama was most definitely in the streets, my girl. She got pregnant with you at 15, 14 years old by one of the hottest up-and-coming rappers. First off, I don't know how they met. They could have been childhood friends, or she could have been, somewhere in the same vicinity, clubs, parties, whatnot, when she met Wayne. Now, fast forward to Reginae getting here. You see what I'm saying? Toya is a young turned bitch who just had a baby for the hottest rapper in the city. Sorry, not sorry, but if I was a 15-year-old mom and my baby daddy was Lil Wayne, baby, you getting dropped off to the first person that's going to take this pack of Newports and his food stamp card, and I'm going on the purple stretch limousine with the big timers. I'm gone. I'm out of here every single time. Like, that's okay. Your mama was a partier. It's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. Look what she set you up to be now. It's 100% okay that your mama was a partier, girl. I mean, you're one of the lucky ones. Your mama was just a clubber. They got some people mamas in the Freaknik documentary.
I was just crying and crying and crying. It got so bad I had to call my sister. She said, "You cried?" I said, "Girl, I'm up watching Toya and Reginae." She said, "Girl, it's 11 o'clock and you crying over a show." If you don't go to bed. Baby, I feel Toya. I be like, Toya, you gotta put you first. Your husband and your kids. Toya.